We're in Jonah chapter 2, and we've been having some conversations about crashes. Jonah was supposed to arise and go to Nineveh. He goes down to Joppa, down into the boat, down to the bottom of the sea. And we talked a little bit yesterday about crashes and the fact that many people don't turn until they hit rock bottom. And I said, and some people who then hit rock bottom and turn don't stay on the new trajectory. They tend to pivot and head down the wrong path again. Today, I want to make a few other observations about crashes. So, number one, if you find yourself at the bottom of the sea, in the belly of a fish, right, you want to understand there's some good here. Crashing can be a good thing, and it's an opportunity to pivot. Good can come out of bad, and it's often hard to see that at the time. And again, I think that unless we are alert to the idea that eternity changes everything, we're not always going to see that. But I just want to say, if you are crashing, recognize that there can be good that can come out of this. This is an opportunity. Number two, we don't need to crash. Jonah didn't need to crash. He could have obeyed. And the way to think about this is to understand that into every life, some pain and suffering is going to come. It can be the pain and suffering of discipline on the front end, like we're going to put into our life the discipline and the structure and the limitations that are going to allow us to flourish later on. Or we can race right past all those kinds of, we can say all those things are limits on my freedom. I'm not going to accept any limits on my freedom. And we can head down that path. Then we just tend to pay a much bigger suffering penalty at that point. So you can have a little bit of discipline and suffering. Discipline is pain, it's suffering, it's limitations, it's hard. That is by nature discipline. But we can have that discipline on the front end, which can lead to flourishing down the line, or we can refuse to pay the discipline tax on the front end, and we can pay a much bigger suffering surcharge at the back end. Number three, when I see somebody who's about to crash, what I have I've been doing this for a long time. What I find myself praying is, Lord, please allow them to survive the crash. They're going to crash. I'm pretty sure of it. Again, I don't have a lot of success talking people out of making bad decisions. Some, but not much. But it can set up an opportunity to warn somebody and say, look, I think you're headed down the wrong path, and I just want to, because I care for you, I want to try and point this out. And then if they crash, to not come and say, yeah, I've told you so, but to say, okay, you crashed. Wow, I've crashed. Everybody crashes. Let's figure out how to, pick up the pieces and what you need to do next. So, look, I'm putting a little bit of a bow tie on crashes, and I'm saying there's opportunity here. We need to see it. Suffering doesn't make everybody better. It makes some people bitter. And there's opportunities in terms of how we're going to process this, how we think about it, how we frame it. So if you're crashing right now, or you just crashed, I want to say there's opportunity, but it involves some hard choices and some pivots. And principally among these is to turn to God, to recognize our brokenness and the foolishness of some of the decisions that we made, and to begin to lean more into trusting God, His Word, and the path that He sets before us. Have a good day.